Hey, what's up everybody? Average Sniper here and welcome to my weight loss video. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're into healthy gaming and like to see live streams every day. Alright guys, let's get started. So, first a quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist. I'm just going to tell you my story, take it how you will, and hopefully it helps you. So, I'm just an average guy who got fat and decided I didn't want to be fat anymore. But in order for you to fully understand my weight loss journey, I'm going to tell it to you in the form of a story. So we're going to start the story when I was younger. I am currently 36 years old. Now when I was growing up, I was always the skinny kid. I never ate a lot of food, and that was why. It's not like I had an incredibly fast metabolism that would let me eat whatever I want. No, I simply didn't have much interest in eating food. That changed later in my life. I went through my teens and the first half of my 20s just being skinny as a stick. My height is about 5'7", and at my lowest weight, I only weighed 118 pounds. Imagine that. And that was not healthy. That was complete malnutrition from only eating maybe once a day, not even close to the amount of calories I should be eating in a day. But like so many, I had myself convinced that I just couldn't gain weight. Well, when I turned 25, I decided I didn't want to be the skinny guy anymore. My average weight then was about 120 to 125 pounds. I decided to do two things. I decided to start force feeding myself so much food. I probably went from having 800 to 1,000 calories a day to having 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day. I was ready for a drastic change, but unfortunately, I did not do it right. The second thing I did, other than force feeding myself, was start lifting weights. And I lifted heavy weights. It took me about 1 year, probably somewhere between a year to a year and a half, to go from 120 pounds to 220 pounds, to go from barely being able to bench press 85 pounds to being able to bench press over 300 pounds. And I know the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, this guy probably took steroids. No, I did not take steroids. I do not believe in steroids. And if I had taken steroids, I would be honest with you guys up front. I seriously did that all naturally. And I was very strong, but I didn't look that good, and I still wasn't that healthy. I never did cardio. I never ate right. My main diet was like Chick-fil-A and whatever protein I could find in the fridge and tons of sweets. I didn't really care about having abs or having defined muscles. I only cared about being big and strong because my whole life I had been the little guy. Now I wasn't the little guy anymore. In fact, I was bigger than some of my high school friends that were into bodybuilding and doing big bench presses and squats. I could outdo them on almost everything now. Everyone was convinced that I had taken steroids to get this big. But I really hadn't. I just dedicated myself to force feeding myself. I'm a firm believer that unless you have a physical problem diagnosed by a doctor, anybody can gain weight. All you have to do is eat a lot of food. Well, long story short, after about 5 years of doing this, maybe about 6 years of doing this, and until I was about 31 years old, from about 25 to 31, I injured my shoulder. And shoulder injury is one of the most common injuries for people that lift heavy weights. I tried so hard to maintain and keep lifting, but in the end, I couldn't do it anymore. I could have done other things to stay in shape and to maintain my sides, but I was so depressed over not being able to bench press and shoulder press and do all the main exercises anymore that I just stopped working out altogether as far as weightlifting goes. It was a slow downward spiral. I actually started lifting lighter weight. I started doing cardio, but I burned myself out. I ended up losing weight, and back then my goal was not to lose weight. And I was so depressed that I was losing weight and that my shoulder was hurt that I just completely stopped it. I stopped all the cardio that I had started doing. I stopped eating the right way. Well, I stopped eating a lot of food every day to maintain my size, and I stopped lifting weight. And I basically just became very, very lazy. Now, of course, I wasn't lazy in my general life. I still worked my regular job. I still made YouTube videos and I still did streams and had a good time doing that. But as far as fitness and health goes, I was about as lazy as you could get. My diet for the past 5 years pretty much has only consisted of Chick-fil-A, occasional stuff that I make at home that's not that healthy. We're talking steaks, burgers, just normal, basically, I wouldn't call it junk food, but food that you definitely shouldn't be eating every single day. That's what I did. So I definitely was way overweight, and slowly over time, my muscles started to deteriorate and the fat started to take over. I remember stepping on the scale and seeing that I weighed 190 pounds and looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, wow, I actually looked way better when I weighed 220 pounds. There's a lot of fat on me. And I stayed this way for years. It's really easy to get stuck in that place, even though you know you're overweight, and just tell yourself, it's not that bad. I'm not that overweight, I still look normal if I wear a shirt that's this big or a pair of pants that's this big. It's so hard, guys. It's so hard. So about 5 months ago, give or take, probably just slightly over 5 months ago, I was sitting around 185 to 190 pounds at 5'7", which is definitely obese. And my body fat percentage was somewhere around 35%, I believe. Which is huge. That's definitely obese. I'm not 100% on that body fat, but that's where I estimate that it was, somewhere around 30 to 35%. And I wanted to lose the weight. And there wasn't anything specific in my life that happened that made me want to lose the weight, other than waking up one day and saying, I want to be more healthy. I feel like shit. I look like shit. Why am I letting myself go through this? I've always looked at very obese people and thought to myself, how did they let themselves get to that point? I can sympathize. I can empathize now because I've been obese. I've never been morbidly obese, but I did get to a point where I said, this is a problem. I need to stop. I want to be more healthy. So I decided to do what most people do. I went online and I found a diet plan. And it was the same diet plan that my dad had actually done about 10 years ago. I knew it worked because I watched him lose about 50 pounds in less than a year. And he was very strict about following the diet. So I was pretty sure it would work, but I knew that I would have to absolutely stick to it. And so that's what I did. I'm not being paid by this company to say their name or anything like that. I'm just giving you guys this information in case it helps you. The name of the diet that I did was Nutrisystem, and I ended up doing it for about 3 months. It's a low-calorie diet that allows you to eat food that you normally would like to eat. You can select food from their website, like pizza, steak subs, all kinds of things. But the catch, there's always a catch, you can't eat that much of it. It tells you when to eat, how much to eat, provides you your servings, and for 2 days out of the week, you're responsible for making your own healthy food. So that really helped me. I did that for about 2.5 to 3 months, and I was able to lose a lot of weight. Now, I did a lot of other things too. Diet is very important, but you have to understand my mindset when I went into this was not to start exercising again. I just wanted to lose the weight. But after about 3 weeks to a month of dieting, and seeing that it was working and that I was losing a substantial amount of weight, I felt a significant increase in my energy levels to the point where I actually wanted to go on a walk or go on a jog. So I started walking. And when I start doing something, I'm the type of person that really goes all in. If I've made my mind up that this is what I'm going to do, then I don't slowly put my toe into the pool and see how cold it is. I do a frickin' double backflip cannonball into the deepest end of the pool, not even sure if I can swim. And this is what happened with my exercise. I started walking about 5 miles a day, just at a little over average pace. I was walking as fast as I was walking fast, but not as fast as I could. I started doing that for 5 miles a day, and I started noticing I was losing weight more rapidly, and I was feeling better, and I was actually looking forward to these walks, which was crazy because I've never liked to walk before. I had all this energy that I didn't have before that I needed to expend. So one day while I was walking, I thought, I'm going to try jogging. That lasted for about 2 minutes before I felt like I was going to die, and I'm pretty sure I was barely jogging any faster than my fast walk. But it really, really winded me. This upset me and showed me that my cardio really needed work, and that was a challenge to me. And since I went all in on this, I decided every time I walked, I would try to jog as far as I could before I ran out of breath. And I also got a membership at the gym and started running on the treadmill, which is probably one of the best things I've ever done because I live in Florida and the weather here is incredibly hot and humid. So even if you're good at cardio, it's really hard to breathe because you're breathing in all this humidity, and on top of that, it's 90 degrees outside. So even if you're good at cardio, you'll end up quitting a lot sooner than you normally do. So I started running on the treadmill at a pretty slow pace, 4 to 4.5 miles, and I would do it for a full hour. But I would have to take off 2 and 3 days in between because my feet and my knees and my legs and everything would just hurt so incredibly bad from doing this. I mean, it hurt bad. But I knew it was just because my body hadn't done this in a while. I have tons of friends who have tried to start working out and they quit because they get sore or their tendons hurt or their elbow hurts or their knees hurt. I just want to slap them and be like, this is normal. This is what happens when you're in your 30s and you've let your body go for so long, you know? Get over it. Take some time off and then do it again. So as soon as I felt better, I would get back and start doing it all over again. I also started lifting weights again. And since I had already lifted weights in my past, I already knew the exercises, the right form to use, and I had a great workout partner. My brother wanted to start working out too. My brother's very skinny like I used to be. He wanted to gain some weight. I wanted to lose some weight, so he would skip the cardio and we would lift weights together. And it was great, and we're still doing that. And the results I've seen have been absolutely incredible. Now you have to understand that I stick to this program hard, okay? I'm not on my diet anymore, but I track my calories and macros, and if you don't know what that means, basically means you use a macro calculator to tell you how much protein, carbs, fat, and calories you should have in one day based on how much you work out and how much weight you're trying to lose. You basically eat whatever you want, but try to keep it as healthy as possible, and as long as you hit those macros every day, you're good. So I'm doing that, I'm lifting weights, and I'm doing cardio every morning on an empty stomach, because cardio on an empty stomach, I've heard, is the fastest way to burn fat. Guys, I've gone from about 30 to 35% body fat to about 10% body fat. I am in what is considered the athletic level of fitness now, and I couldn't be happier. I'm still working on growing my muscles bigger. That's not really my goal, but obviously when you're lifting weights, you want them to get bigger. I just want to be toned up. I want to look good. I want to feel healthy. And oh my God, I do. I really do. It has been an amazing, amazing weight loss journey. And I really hope this video inspires you guys. But I'm not done yet. I want you to know that it takes an incredible amount of dedication to do this. I've been through other things in my life. I've been through hard times that have required a lot of willpower and motivation to get through them. And it's like the old saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So when I did feel that it was finally time for me to lose the weight, when I just looked in the mirror and hated what I saw every day, I wanted to make a positive change. And it is hard to stick to it, guys, but you have to. There were two major things that happened while I was on my diet that made me feel like I just wanted to go out and binge eat. After about a month and a half to 2 months into my diet, when I had already lost a little over, I'd probably lost about 25 pounds. I was looking great, feeling great. My long-term relationship that I was in quickly ended, and it was very unexpected. So the person that I had been with for 7 years basically just disappeared out of my life. And that was very hard to deal with. And I wanted to go to Chick-fil-A so bad and just eat like 10 spicy chicken sandwiches. Because that's how I dealt with my pain. Through eating, you know? Eating was the only thing I looked forward to. And I still look forward to eating a lot, but I've really toned it down. And I've made other things priorities in my life. But when she broke up with me, that made me just want to binge eat. I wanted to go to McDonald's. I wanted to park in the parking lot and eat the building, but I didn't do it. I forced myself to stay on track. The second thing that happened about a month and a half after that is that tragically, my best friend in the world passed away in his sleep. We still don't know the cause of his death, but we do know he had some serious health problems related to alcoholism, and that probably most likely was a very large contributing factor. When this happened, I felt the same way. I wanted to drive up to a Pizza Hut and eat the whole building. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, if you decide to make yourself better and make positive changes, life doesn't stop for you. There's going to be things that happen, good things and bad things along this journey. But what you have to remember is to stay strong. And if you happen to mess up, if you happen to relapse and eat something you shouldn't eat, it's not the end of the world. You just can't fall back into those habits and doing that every day. If you have to have a slice of pizza every now and then, you need to have that slice of pizza. But you need to control yourself so it doesn't happen that often. So guys, it's really as simple as this. You got to make a decision. You got to tell yourself, I'm ready to change. Then you got to figure out the best way to go about it. And you really have to commit to it. And when it comes to losing weight, it is so true that the best way to do it is proper diet and exercise. That is it. And I would say those go 50-50. Well, the diet is probably more important at the beginning, but as your body fat percentage starts to get lower, the exercise is actually required to continue burning fat. Because what's actually going to happen if you don't exercise is you're going to end up becoming skinny fat, which means your body fat percentage is still going to be high. You're going to look skinnier than you were, but you're going to have less muscle and more fat. Because instead of losing fat, you've lost muscle from not conditioning your muscles, not exercising, and not taking in enough protein. So for me, the perfect thing that worked was proper diet and exercise. And like I said, guys, I didn't even want to start exercising again, but I felt so good after a few weeks into my diet that I just had to start. And it has been the most positive thing that's happened to me in 2020, which is 2020 is the shittiest year for just about everyone on the planet. And I'm so happy I was able to make positive change out of it. And I really hope this video helps you guys make that positive change too. Always remember, no matter how far gone you think you are, regardless of what it is, you can always come back. And that's the point of this video. You know, it should be motivational for you to hear my story. I'm sorry the video was so long, but I really wanted you guys from the bottom of my heart to know exactly what I did and how I did it. Now, if this video gets 3,000 likes, I will be more than happy to make another video about my diet, specifics about my diet, and specifics about my training regimen, like the workouts that I do in detail, the food that I eat in detail, and basically my daily routine to maintain a low body fat percentage. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I really hope this video helps. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and make sure you stop by for a live stream. I stream almost every day on YouTube. I don't stream working out or anything like that. I stream games, but it'd be great to have you stop by in the chat and let me know if this video helped you. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.